And we've got William from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada.
He's on line dos.
Hi, William.
Hi. Hi.
How you doing?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Good, yeah. How's it going?
I was just pretty good. You?
Fine.
Go ahead.
I'm an atheist, and I was calling in to ask a question about an argument I had with my mother the other day about the subject. She came to me and actually said to me that the reason why Stalin and Hitler did the things is because they didn't believe that did the things that they did was because they didn't believe in a God and they had no moral grounds, and that led to them doing the things they did.
Yeah, we get that a lot. We hear that a lot.
Yeah, actually, if you would like, William, I did a blog post not too long ago. It'll be still a little fresh. You might have to scroll down a bit. Do you know where our blog is at?
Yeah.
Okay, I did one called something like "Can you be moral without God?" And I went through this whole thing. But the main thing is, I mean, yes, Stalin probably was an atheist. I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. Hitler, it's arguable. I don't know. He made different kinds of statements that could be interpreted different ways. The point is, people do things that are good and bad, whether they believe in God or whether they don't believe in God. It doesn't matter if you believe in God. That's not what keeps you from doing horrible things. What keeps you from doing horrible things is either your own moral conscience or the law. Otherwise, you'll go do whatever you want to do.
But here's the reason why this atheism leads to a lack of a moral code notion is a complete load of crap, and that is that this notion that it is a theistic notion that God is the author of our morality, right? So therefore, it is also a theistic notion, theistic notion that if there is no God, then therefore we have no architect of our morality, and therefore we are all amoral and can do whatever, right? That is not an atheistic notion. That's a theistic notion.
Correct.
Atheists don't believe in God, so therefore we do not believe that a God is the architect of our morality in the first place. So no atheist would then, from that, make the logical conclusion, well, therefore, since there is no God, right? We can just do whatever, and there's no more. Right, it's a false premise. It's just like saying, well, the only reason that I don't defecate on the sidewalk is because of the existence of unicorns. But if there are no unicorns, that means I can go out and just start defecating on sidewalks. Cool. No, you see what I mean? There's like no real logical link between the two things, right? It is only because theists have been indoctrinated to believe that the only reason that there is right and wrong is because there is a God saying, all right, look, little from column A, little from column B. And so
try and respond to the point she made by saying that I don't get my morality from this God creature. I get the morality from other humans who basically take us and judge us when we do things that we find morally reprehensible, things that are harmful to the society in general. Sort of like, well, the example of killing 6 million Jews is completely morally reprehensible, and it's harmful to society because it's taking away somebody's right to live. And I don't get that morality from God, and I didn't think she got it either.
Right, and additionally,
although it was a man of God, right? It was Martin Luther who authored the tract, this infamous anti-Semitic tract that was very influential upon just about all modern anti-Semitic thinking today.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, 9/11 was done for God, so I mean, God inspires a lot of crazy things too, the belief in God, and I mean, if we're just going to have a pissing contest about who can do more harm, I would put religion up to atheism any day, and I think we would win hands down.
But the point is, it's not really this. I think this whole who has the bigger body count issue is a huge red herring. It's brought up.
It is.
It's brought up by clowns like Dinesh D'Souza and guys like that to put atheists on the defensive. We don't even need to say things like you just said, right?
Right.
The point is that atheism is not a belief. It is a form of disbelief. It is a statement of disbelief pertaining to a particular question, which is, do deities exist? Does anything called a God exist? Our answer is no, we don't believe that anything like that does. So that's what atheism means. People don't perform acts based upon what they don't believe. They perform acts based upon what they do believe, right? Hitler's racial purity ideas and his megalomania, all of these were ideas that he did believe, right? Stalin's megalomania and his thirst for power was, those were things that he did believe, right? He had this vision for what he wanted the Soviet Union to be, right? Which was just dictatorship with him at the top. We're getting some odd sounds, so I'm going to put you on hold while you work out whatever that is. So, yeah, you don't say, because I don't believe in unicorns, I will defecate on the sidewalk, right? I mean, there's no logical link from, I don't believe a thing, therefore I can do a thing. You act based upon a conviction, not a lack thereof.
Yeah, and I would additionally say that, yes, law does keep you in line, but it's also important to remember that we are social animals. Not all animals are social. So, for example, it would be much harder to train a pet snake than a pet dog, or if something that is not a social animal doesn't react or respond as well to social pressure because it doesn't have those same inherent tendencies toward empathy and toward understanding others in the society. Social animals are defined by how well they relate to others of their group. Humans are very good at that. Dogs are very good at that. Some other animals, or lions, would be very good at that. If you can cooperate with other members of your society and you are a social animal, you survive better in that society, so the welfare of the society becomes paramount to your own survival, and so it's kind of in a whole interconnected thing. It benefits me, it benefits others, it benefits the whole society.
You can't take morals out of a social context. I mean, if you look at some uninhabited planet like Mars, if a rock falls onto another rock on Mars and breaks that rock, has the big rock done an immoral thing? Well, no, it's just there's no morality outside of a social context. So that's why then the notion of absolute morality that a lot of Christian fundamentalists latch onto is a little bit bogus, because without a specific social species to apply these rules to, it has no application.
Well, the other thing is religion doesn't offer an objective morality, because if you ask a Christian, is genocide okay? They'll say no, and you show them genocide in the Old Testament, they'll say, well, back then it was okay. Or they'll have some explanation. God said to do it, so it was okay. Or so there's a lot of Christians who will justify something that they would call immoral right now as moral in a different context, and then they'll turn around and say that how does an atheist have an objective morality? And it's like, well, I don't, but neither do you.
It kind of comes back to the thing I heard early on a different show. You guys said that just because God says it's good doesn't mean it's good. It is like a Euthyphro's, I forget.
Euthyphro's dilemma, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It kind of comes back to that.
Which came first, God or the moral precept?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so hopefully that's something to feed back to your mom a bit with.
Thanks. And also, I just wanted to thank you guys for the show, because it helped me stop being an irrational atheist and just saying, oh, there's no God and I hate God and religion is this really bad thing and I'm not just going to pay attention to it. Your show helped me, it helped me become a skeptic and not just take things for granted just because somebody tells me that they're true.
Well, we're glad to hear that.
Yeah, comments like that make my day, and I really appreciate you letting us know.
Yeah, so good luck. I mean, you're on a journey, and just keep going, keep thinking about stuff and questioning and hitting them back with the hard questions. That's the important part.
Thanks.
All right, man. Thank you.